What is good, YouTube? The beard is here. Do not fear. It's been a long time since I've done a StarCraft 2 replay, so we are going to get right into it. So we have the Red Zerg as Gut Rip spawning in the top left corner of the map, and then in the bottom right we have me as the Bearded Saiyan. Let's go. So immediately I sent out an SCV. Do a little scouting, do a little harass. The actual intent of this SCV is to go over there and try and hatch block them. Unlike other players, I do not build an engineering bay there to block them. What I just like to do is I like to send the SCV on a patrol route. If he stays in this spot the entire time without going up this ramp, it is pretty difficult for the Zerg player to expand here. But I leave him here for a second, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go up the ramp, and then I'm immediately follow the Zerg drone. Get a little poke in there. He can't take the fight because I got the first hit. He does get lucky and still gets the hatch down where he wants it. However, I did delay him for about 4 to 5 seconds. Meanwhile, I'm sending out another SCV because I'm trying to do a little bit of a cheeky play here. Since I delayed that hatch a little bit, you guys will see what I'll try to pull off here. So I go up into the main. I scout that he barely has his spawning pool even started. So I'm like, okay, this is good. He's going to have a little bit of a difficult time stopping what I'm trying to do. I'm bringing this guy back down here, and I drop a bunker down. Brought the second SCV as a backup in case one of those SCVs goes down. Meanwhile, he does an entire, or like a half of drone pool of his mineral line. Unfortunately, he trapped that SCV right there in the refinery, and then this one's low as well. A little bad RNG on my end, because, yeah, I could have gone a lot differently if the RNG was a little bit better. I cancel the bunker, and then I drop a command center right here on the high ground. The reason why I opt to do it on the high ground is because it's much safer when you're doing cheeky plays like this. I almost ended up losing the Reaper there, but I managed to save him and poke at his Zerglings a little bit. Pretty annoying for him. And get 3 kills on him, which is wonderful. I'll send the Reaper over here to see if he's making a third. I do spot the drone that's doing it, but I get a little trapped by the Zerglings there, unfortunately. He does have speed almost done. It's coming up very shortly. He decides that he wants to send a few Zerglings out to see what I'm doing. And he also did get an Overlord Scout. He does see that I have my ramp open, but I have Hellions there, so I'm alright. He does try to take out the second Hellion there. I markered it at the last second and saved him. But as he's being repaired, I'm going to send these 3 Hellions out. They are on a mission to scout and see if they can get any drones. He is currently at 35 workers. Let's see what happens. I'll send it to a third because I wanted to actually visually verify that it was there. I didn't want to be hit with a 2 base all in for no reason. So I decided to take these 3 Hellions up into his natural and see what I can poke around and do. Just getting a few Zerglings, as he should be. I kill off all the Zerglings, and I roast a few. So he was at 35. I have officially killed 4 workers, 5 workers, and I get another Hellion up in the main. He's still harassing. He pretty much scouted that he's popping out roaches right now. Roaches are the right move for what I am doing. Unfortunately, he does not expect this. Put it right there on the minerals and his larva. And I ended up getting lucky with that queen. He was not looking. And now he only has larva production on 2 bases because of this. But he does have a lot of roaches. He's got 8 roaches and a few lynx. That's more than I can handle right now. But right here, the point of me doing this depot right here is if he pushed out like 5 seconds later and I got this depot pretty close to being done, it would have been wonderful. The reason why I do this is because a lot of Zerg players will tend to 1A across the map while they're macroing back at home. And when they do this, whatever structure they run into first is going to be what's attacked. So basically what the purpose of this depot right here is to buy time. If unfortunately I didn't get it as built as I wanted to, but it still did buy me about 2 seconds of mining. So it did a little bit. I got Banshees coming out. I forgot my Banshee speed coming out as well. There's really no point at all in getting Cloak right now. The reason why is because roaches and Zerglings don't shoot up, so it's like, but you don't need Cloak. So he's this Banshee definitely has his work cut out for him right now. We're just very slowly picking away at these roaches. The only saving grace that I have right now is that I am still mining from here, and that I have 3 CCs. If any of you Terrans out there see this and you're ever in this position, do not quit. Because if you're on 2 CCs, yeah, you've lost the game. But if you have your 3rd CC up, you're very, very much still in it. So he tries to break down the wall, which is the right move, especially if he wants to do something like Zergling Rush or Zergling Flood. Which is exactly what he does. He's trying to get a handful of Zerglings out. Because if he was able to send those Zerglings up into the main, this is really all that I'm mining from right now. Besides a few workers here, so. I really do think he should have sent that into the main. But he's doing a good job of denying SCVs up natural. Like I said, now I've got three base production. And I pop out a battlecruiser, I'm like, well, dude, I have to return the favor. So I could have moved away from the sport color, but I'm like, I've got a mule here, I can out DPS this. When I realize I'm being shot from the back, though, I do move him. Take out a queen. He's already got 5 kills. He's like, I'm on a mission here to save the game. He's still working on those queens. I drop another mule. He is at 50 HP. He was at 60. And I've got my speed banshees. I'm like, okay, well, You did a lot of eco damage to me, but I can make a bunch of cheap units off of 3 bases. You mono that because I want to take out the Swarkler. Static D and battle cruisers and banshees do not get along very well. And now I'm just focusing on the Queen, so that is currently his only anti-air. He's got his Hydralisk then down. Which, yeah, it is the right move, but it's kind of late for that. It's kind of hard to kill a battlecruiser when you have reinforcements coming from different directions. You guys will see what I mean by that. I'm taking out Overlords. Still sending in the Hellions. It would be amazing right now if I had a Blue Flame, but I don't have a second factory because I can't really afford it. Oh, I could afford it, but I didn't. I'm still working on taking out his reinforcements, though. You see what I mean? He just had one Hydralisk coming from over here. Like, he's not in a good position right now. When I realized that he puts on 2 Swarklers, I'm like, oh shit, I need another battlecruiser for DPS, so I teleport that one in. You model that one, and then I DPS on that one. Battlecruisers do very, very well against Hydralisk in small numbers, by the way. On top of that, I'm making Hellions, which do really well. So he's being countered twice, actually. I would consider this like, I consider Hellions kind of a hard counter. These not so much, but when combined versus Hydralisk, they don't stand a chance. I tried to save that one battlecruiser, but that did not go according to plan. I'll completely deny his mining right here with this Liberator, which is awesome. No, I didn't even realize he just moved all those all the way over there. And the fight goes on. This guy's almost at 20 kills. He's at 17 kills right now. 19. 20. 21. Oh no, just 20. Still a lot. The first battlecruiser had 25. Second battlecruiser had 20. So these guys are dying as they come out. He's in a real bad spot right now. Meanwhile, I took my third base. Finally. Got that fully saturated except for that gas. Got this halfway saturated and I'm over-saturated on that a little bit. Send another Liberator up there. This guy takes a couple pot shots at these, making these guys one hit. Now he has a bigger army, so I have to retreat. I got 2 Hellions. I'm just trying to take out the Lings. That's all they can do right now. And I have another Liberator, keeping the harass going for as long as possible. Take another pot shot at him, making that guy one hit. Meanwhile, and on the left side, I have a battlecruiser. So, if you play around with the dead space in this game with battlecruisers, you can get a lot of benefit out of doing this. He's already got 8 kills, which is pretty awesome. I got a bunch of widow mines. I recently just dropped a bunch of barracks. So I'm getting a bio army out while continuing with the air. I'm still poking around with this guy. He's up to 10 kills. 9 kills, but he's about to get 10. Unfortunately, I'll lose that. That's okay, because I'm still making the BCs. Imagine if I didn't lose any BCs, I'd be at like 3 or 4 already, guys. Just keep teleporting them over here. This guy, right here. He goes ham. I pick off the queen there, one shot with the Yamato. I play around with this dead space over here. He's already rocking out with 5 kills. I just keep poking back and forth. Meanwhile, I am getting my +1 armor and stem. Another battle cruiser. Working on my bio army. It's awesome though, because if he was to go lurkers, which is a very, very possible thing for him to do since he's on a hydralist, I can pop out a raven pretty fast. He sends he sends a hit squad of links over here, which is not a bad move from him. But I see it pretty fast. I was a little sad here because I misclicked and ended up losing that battle cruiser. If I didn't lose that BC, he would have to stay home. So here's the big play of the game. I teleported another battle cruiser over here. He pulls his entire army back to deal with this, while I push his 4th base or 3rd base. Only thing these guys are missing right now is combat shields. Oh, I think a pretty good fight here. If the Zerglings did not show up when they did, I have a really good feeling the bio army that I would have taken out these guys. But he decides he wants to move out because he doesn't think I was macroing behind this. Very, very sad for him. I was still making Marines. So up here, you got the battlecruiser. He tried to drop a couple changelings because, you know, those are pretty good scouting units. I take out both the changelings. And I'm like, I'm gonna push your next base guy. He decides he cannot engage into that because I stemmed, and he is right. I go up the ramp here because I see he's trying to make banelings. I pre-split just in case they pop on me. And this guy is still trying. I don't blame him for trying. He gave it his all. That is GG from the Zerg player, and GG indeed. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like my content, drop a comment. Tell me what you think about it.